Well, I'm up at hare camp today. Had to come up and mow my hay field here. But anyhow, I see there ain't a heck of a lot posted on a hunted hare site lately, but yet guys are going on there all the time, so I figured I'd come up with something to look at here. I had different people ask about the kennels, one being Dan Lee, and I just think the easiest way to kind of give some dimensions rather than writing them down and stuff is just to kind of go through the kennels with a tape measure. So that's what I'm going to try and do. Anyhow, I got a 2x4 right here. That is approximately, it's probably in the ground a little bit, so it's probably 6 foot on the outside. And then here's a stub that the platform, I'll be in and out here, but there's a stub what the platform sits on. These are a little lower than at home. It's probably about 24 inches for this stub leg coming up. Then all of my gussets I think are a foot. All my gussets are a foot to the long side. And I don't even have to measure that cross piece. That main cross piece going across there is a foot, but I might have put it a ½ inch longer or something so I knew the wire would fit in there. Yes, I did. Right there. 8 foot 1/2 inch. And then the wire I cut to 8 foot so it falls in there. So that gives you a little bit of an idea there. Crossways. You're probably getting dizzy with my camera whipping around here, but I haven't had much other choice. So right here's my cross piece, and that is kind of like the same thing. It's 4 foot, but I made it about 4 foot 1/2 inch. And you can see right here that this is the cross piece across the front. This is the 8 foot 1/2 inch. And this one goes in between the two 8-footers. So basically, if you want 4 foot and a little bit, you got to knock the 3 inches off this cross piece right there. Anyhow, when you get done, that piece of wire on the inside is like exactly 4 foot by 8 foot. So I just make it just a little bit bigger, like a ½ inch, so I know that the wire is going to fit down in there and I don't have to cut an extra square. I've got 1, 2, 3 cross pieces underneath in a 8 foot span. What else do you want to know here? My doors are 20 inches wide. And I just run a 2x4 up and then just a 2x2 across the top. Not that you got to do it that way, but that's how these are. Usually I have spring-loaded hinges, but these are just regular. And then right up here, you can see the upright going up there, and the piece for the roof is screwed to the outside of them boards right there. Goes back. I'll see about how tall it is here on the back. Let's see if I can do this. On the back I've got about 5 foot on the back. And then again, you'll be able to see it real easy here because these aren't buried in the ground. That's exactly what it is. I got them 24 inch stub on that upright so that the bottom of the platform is actually 24 inches plus the 3.5 inch for the 2x4. So, you know, to about 27 and a half inches up off the ground is the platform. Yeah, let's see here. That's nailed to the front. So I've got about and this is just a preference thing right here, but I got about 16 inches for an overhang on the front, and on the back from the kennel I have about 28 inches overhang. And these boxes on the back here, just to kind of utilize the material the best you can, are 24 wide, and I'm guessing about the same tall. Yep, about 24. You can go a smidgen less than that just so you getting the most out of your material. And then the box matches the kennel, so the box is 8 foot wide. And then I think I showed you this on a different video when I built these, but I just did the flip down door with a partition between the two boxes. But these are smaller than at home. At home, my kennels are usually two dogs per kennel, and they're 4x8. But I don't know. I see no reason why a guy couldn't use that as a full-time kennel at home. I just made them a little smaller up here because they don't spend a lot of time in it. But even at home, if you run your dogs a lot, they're not getting their exercise inside their kennel. So anywhere from this to 4x8 would be fine. But I'm trying to think if there's any other. I don't know why I put a 2x6 up there. Probably because I had a couple. That could very easily be a 2x4 going across the top right there. So from the top of the kennel all the way down to the very, very bottom is 4 foot on the head. And then the very outside length, that board right there is 8 foot 1/2 inch, and then you got the 2x4 on the outside right there, and also on that side. So these kennels are like 8 foot 3 1/2 inches long. This wire, I tried 14 gauge. As far as I'm concerned, it don't work with the crap. So this is 2x4 inch square welded wire, and this is 12.5 gauge wire. The flooring in here is 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch square PVC coated welded wire, and I can't tell you what gauge that is. At home I've got, I think it's 10.5 gauge. So this is, it's just a little lighter than that. So I don't know, I'd have to look it up, but it's just a little lighter than 10.5 gauge. Like 11, it's an oddball, like a half, like it's either 11.5. I don't think it's 12.5, so I'm going to say it's like 11.5 gauge. And that wire right there, almost need two hands here. That wire right there I ordered from this place right here. It's in Wisconsin. It's Clubber Tans Equipment Company. Right there's the, oh, I gotta get her focused here. Right there's the website right there. And they are in Edgerton, Wisconsin. I go back and forth through there for work all the time, so I just stop and pick it up. I don't know what it would cost to have it shipped, but both of them are a little hard to come by. Normally when you see the 2x4 stuff, it's 14 gauge, which I will not use, and that PVC coated wire, it's just hard to find. The first time I built kennels, I ordered it from a lobster trap company out on the East Coast. I can't remember the name of them, but anyhow, little turn jobber there, plus those locks. I'm trying to think of what else there would be here, but like I said, that crossboard right there is 8 foot 1/2, 8 foot 1/2 on the bottom. The one in between is, you got to come up with a total of about 4 foot 1/2 inch. So that cross piece right there, it's between the two long ones. You got to take 3 inches off of that. So you come up with that total. That's about it. I already measured the overhang. This just sticks out the width of the 2x4 on the edge. You could do something different there. Just some old tin I had laying around. Put some tin on the roof. And that's it. I don't know. I get a chance, I'll maybe film the ones at home too. They're a little bit different. Number one, they're 4x8 total, but no petition, and they're turned the other way. But they're taller, and I'm not really sure if that's necessary, but I got a loft in my kennels at home for the dogs to jump up onto. So the longest wire right here is, in the front, it's 44 inches. So when you buy this wire, the 2x4 square 12.5 gauge, all you need is 4 foot 48 inch 4 foot tall wire. The ones at home are a little taller, so I had to go with you know, a taller roll. So I don't know if anybody would find that interesting, but I'd like to think at least a couple guys would. And it's easier than writing a bunch of stuff down. If anybody gets building one and has got a question, all I got to do is ask, and I'll try and answer it. I don't know. I think they're pretty slick, especially up here. They work great, but I think they'd work great for full-time kennels at home too. So that's it. My grass is mowed, and I'll probably go in and have a cold one later.